Hey guys, Steve Zalunardo here with Remax West, Zalunardo Associates. We're here in my backyard. We're going to do some outdoor episodes this month, just enjoying the weather. So today we're going to talk about what happened in May in real estate. So just a follow-up on what happened. So May was kind of like an up and down roller coaster. Killed it in early May. We're selling houses for astronomical amounts of money in small communities. And then by the mid to end of May was a little bit of a dip. We're starting to find trouble selling listings. Even when we went into June, we had about 20% less sales week over week, which kind of affected some of our listings. And ultimately, it was definitely a good month. Okay, so let's look at some numbers here. I'm just going to read from the page. If we look at the month of May, we only had 1 month of inventory available for all the buyers coming to the market. We had an average selling price of 105% of asking. If we look back, rewind to 2017, where we had the last crazy market of the bidding wars and uproar of 30% in values, that was only about 99% of asking houses were selling for. So there was some going into bidding wars, some were actually selling just below asking. As reporting now, we're at 105% of asking. And only what we're seeing too is basically houses stay on the market as 11 days. We know this is a fictional number because people holding back offers will keep properties on the market longer than they should, because sometimes they can sell in, let's say, 1 day or in a couple hours, like I did just recently. We listed a house in Bolton. We listed it for 6 hours. It got, I think it was 60 or 70,000 over asking, and we locked the deal up. So that's just an example of days on market. So sometimes we got to look at the number, and sometimes we got to look at what's really happening with that number. I really want to focus on this part of the statistics, and it's basically May 2020 versus May 2021. And this will kind of give you a good idea, because May 2020 is when I bought my investment property in Allison, where we came out of the COVID slump, and we scored an amazing deal with a property sat in the market for 45 to 60 days. It should have sold really quick, but we capitalized there. So let's talk about sales. So if you look at May 2021, we've had almost 12,000 sales, so 11,950 sales, versus May 2020 of only 4,594 sales. So we've tripled the amount of sales year over year. So this is why we have such a ferocious market currently right now. We just gotta remember to take a breather with the market itself, because at some point we're gonna have a little bit of a lull period, as the new millennials are saying, buy the dip, and this is what's going to happen. I think ultimately we're going to get some sort of, like, July, August, we'll have a little bit of a dip. Naturally, school finishing, people getting back to their normal lives, businesses opening up, restaurants opening up, people are going to start traveling around Canada, even abroad potentially. So they're not going to be really focused on doing business and buying real estate, or have any thought in mind of selling or buying just yet. So what's going to happen is good properties will sit on the market longer than what they should. Why? Because they're not getting the attention that they normally would in a normal market. So that's a good time for investors to go out and do some dealing. So I'm actually prepping my clients now. Stay calm. We're still June 10th. Let's keep it going. Once we get into the end of June into July, we're going to start seeing some good deals that we want to capitalize on. Naturally, be responsible with what you're buying. Make sure you can afford it. But I would say definitely go out and buy. Even though we're at the pinnacle, let's say at the apex of property value, as long as you can hold on to the property for future, let's say investments, let's say if you're able to cover the mortgage and all the expenses with the current rental income, you'll be fine. And why I say this, we always got to remember that our country's been closed down. We're the longest held country and captive, let's say, because of COVID. But once we open up, obviously our current government wants to have, I think they're talking about 400,000 immigrants per year coming for the next 3 years, which is 1.2 million more bodies coming to Canada. If we look at past history, 50% of those numbers usually reside in the Golden Horseshoe, which is literally our daily commute. It's about 180 kilometer radius. It's just about. So that's, let's just say, our daily commute or weekly commute. So imagine an additional, let's say, 600,000 people in this proximity. So what's going to happen is that's going to drive an upward spiral on property value and also rental values. So I would say buy, hold, and get ready to capitalize on the future markets. So that's the end of the video. If you guys like this video, you can always like, share, subscribe. And yeah, you can always, if you have any questions, reach out to me on my socials. And we'll catch you in the next video. Ciao.